Hello, my name is Shadley, welcome back for another episode of Hearts 3 Black Eyes as People's Republic of China. We'll probably call it PRC in the future though. But anyway, we are now ready to, or more or less ready to start a war against Shanxi, so let's just go ahead and do the event or decision over here, so we don't need to declare war ourselves directly. The game does it for us essentially. And we'll go ahead and send these two across the river, and these four will head north. We'll send these two across the river to the mountains. We'll have some troops from here, so you can probably go into the mountains. Actually, we'll send both of this into the mountains, attacking there. There's also mountains in here, but there's a lot of mountains in here, let's be honest. But we'll start taking those. That does mean that we're now at war also with the other nations down here, Guangxi Clique, or other warlords, and Yunnan, which we're guaranteeing the independence of Shanxi. We've got now several battles going on, although they should be fairly easy. We should actually be getting several victories very shortly. So the reason why we're taking this is it allows us to push on a bit of a wider front, and also start pushing towards Beijing. And also we'll get some factories from here, which is also quite nice. If you look, there's Taiyuan, and then there's HoI. And I believe Taiyuan does have a bit larger industry, like it's, I think 6 or 7 factories, I could be mistaken. And we don't need quite as much consumer goods anymore, so that means even more production, which is very handy. Okay, there we go. We're winning to the north and to the northeast. And when are we across the river? Okay, we can actually go ahead and take these two and start moving to Yuncheng. Also move one of these in there as well, because mountains with a river crossing to most directions, this is going to be a fairly safe location. Until they start getting units with engineers, I don't think we need to worry too much about that. As soon as this one's ready, we'll send it probably across the river. Actually, we can probably send it down that way already. It's still going to take a few days before it will start moving. Oh, there we go. Cross the river in one place. How soon can we attack again? No, it's going to take quite a while, actually. This one is going to cut across the river. There's a headquarters defending in there, or core HQ, and that's not going to be doing too much. We don't have a huge amount of extra troops right now. Of course, we'll be getting some from once we win the war against Shanxi, or once we annex them. That's going to give us a bit of opportunities. Then it shouldn't take too long to take place. I think it's probably going to be like 3 weeks until they surrender. Depends how quickly we get to HoI, really. I mean, Taiyuan isn't going to be too bad. Almost there already. Actually, we can go ahead and start moving in there. Fenyang, they've got 2 militia units and 2 headquarters in there. There's one headquarters that is basically 0 strength, so that won't be able to join in. Right, let's go ahead and redeploy over there. And start sending some of the troops along the mountains in here. So there's a bit of risk involved us advancing in here, is that the Nationalist China, or a Republic of China, will be able to move troops in here, and that will be already closer to the point once we start pushing in here. But I think it's still going to be mostly fine. Oh, we got a delayed over here once again. Oh, there we go, victory at Fenyang. There's one of the things that I could do, since we've got some troops in here and all that. I'm going to take one of these and start sending it down south to take over the defense in here with the militias. With the river, we should be able to hold it quite easily, because the enemy will basically not be able to deal any damage to us due to the river crossing penalty. How long can... Okay, that's going to be another 60 hours. We should be moving north quite nicely. So right now there's not too much happening. There's a lot of enemy conscripts around here, but that's about it. So can we... No, we're still going to take another 2 days before you can move. So I'm going to give you orders to move in there already. And then this one should actually redeploy directly in there. This one's almost in here, so we can then move in this division further north. But the idea is that we'll be able to hopefully rush through the border provinces in here. So we won't enter those yet. But once we're about to annex the enemy or something like that, we'll go ahead and rush through there and start taking some land from China. And hopefully what we can do is then... Oh, there we go, another victory. Alright, let's go ahead and send in 2 units towards Lin here. That's going to be the provinces where we defend against the enemy northern or northwestern push. Most likely that can push there, and you can probably keep the enemy busy there. Actually, they are out of organization, so that will be an easy victory. Right, you can probably keep on pushing that way. The Mountaineers, I guess we'll go ahead and cross the river one way or the other. So this is fairly quick kind of a, well, infantry blitz in here. Need a lot less reinforcements actually now. Mostly because a lot of troops are... Actually, they've been reinforced already for the most part. We haven't taken that much losses in here yet. And we do have, luckily, cores on basically all of China. So everything that we conquer will get the full benefit from them. Oh, and something to point out. So I do stream Heartland 3 on Sundays. I've got a El Salvador playthrough that I do on Twitch. But I'm not going to put those into YouTube directly. Mostly because it's just, in my experience, the sort of stream mods do not do all that well with the algorithm. So it's probably better to just have dedicated videos for YouTube. But yes, we won't be doing any console commands in this playthrough. Ooh, we do need a bit more... Well, we don't need much more consumers. We'll just put in 0.01 in there extra, so it shows a green number there, instead of occasionally flickering to red. So there we go. There's a lot of headquarters in here. We are getting another unit in there. Do we have another one that we could maybe take? Actually, yes. We can probably take one of these. I'm going to send it down here already. And then we'll redeploy it to Yincheng once we've taken all of that. Mostly because we need to have some extra troops in here defending. And we don't really need all of these to take over the capital there. Also, we are taking another... Okay, tomorrow morning we'll be arriving in Taiwan. At least in theory. There's a bit of enemy headquarters causing some interference in here in Taigu, but I'm sure that we'll take that soon enough. Well, there we go. That's another victory. Should be arriving... There we go. We overrun one of the enemy units. Which kind of could, and also could be potentially bad. There we go. We've taken Taiwan, so that is 7 factories, yes. That's good. And our troops are definitely advancing quite handily. I suppose once the troops are in position, we can start pushing into Republic of China already, even if we haven't annexed all of this yet. Oh, there we go. Is there anyone in the capital? No? Okay, well, let's start advancing then. Right, we'll probably wait at least until the delays on the troops have gone. They are bringing a bit of troops to the east already, so they are suspecting something, most likely. Right, we can probably go ahead and advance through these headquarters. Should be fairly easy to deal with. Well, they had a headquarters over there, but that wasn't pushed back. This one's probably going to get pushed back. Oh yeah, they're just shattering right now, so they're not really going to put much of a defense in there. How long? Okay, that's going to be 30th. So we might actually take this one before we even get the troops. Well, more or less. Take Ho before we even get the troops in here to assist in the advance. Yeah, it will be close. I think we'll need to leave about 3 units over here to protect the flank. But we don't need to have all of them in there from the get-go. So keep the enemy busy. And I think our troops are mostly ready now. Yeah, so let's just go ahead and start advancing through the Shanxi territories into China. Or Republic of China, so we can take as much land as possible. And get into good defensive positions. We hopefully will be able to surround and destroy some enemy units, but it might not be possible right now. Let's give a support attack over there if we need to, but otherwise we'll just take that one. We'll be arriving there tomorrow evening if everything goes well. Which means that at the start of February, Shanxi will be annexed. So they're not moving too much troops in here. Oh, and we're under attack by... Oh, they do have a unit there. Well, they had a unit there. Can we keep them busy? A little bit low on organization there. I think we're going to be taking that one pretty shortly, so I'm going to start moving down this way already. Jingxian was under attack. Ah, right. Over here we were under attack. Right, let's just go on and push further. We are going to get a troops there as well, so we can push back the enemy conscript as well. We're going to be taking that on hopefully soon. Oh, they got another unit over here. Okay, so they got a bit more troops that I was hoping for in here, but we'll just have to live with that. I'm pretty sure that we'll be... There we go. So they will be surrendering in 2 hours. We'll also get the resource... strategic resource modifiers. Which means that we are neutral on everything in that regard. So now we get a few extra units. Hold on a minute. Do we have a headquarters? We do have the 2nd Corps. And we've got 5 units to put under that, I suppose. Not particularly great. It's mostly just militias and such, but... It's more troops at least. Now they've got all of these, let's just go ahead and... Actually, we can probably create a new army. And then assign this under the Mazedong. We'll send this one back to Taiwan. And we'll also go ahead and switch these cores to be underneath that. So this one's got 6 divisions, which is not something that you can do manually. I'll reorganize it later, but right now I'll let that be the 6 divisions. There we go, now everything's under the first army. And let's go ahead and assign some leaders to these. Not going to assign the leader pack leaders in there yet. I'll have those take over some proper divisions later on. Actually, what we're going to do is we'll rank them according to skill. And we'll just use these basic level 1 leaders for these. There's one that we can't give a leader to yet. And then, of course, there is going to be a little bit of enemy units in here. I suppose this one's going to be moving through to Jatong and maybe to Zulu. There's a conscript over there. That's low infrastructure, so it'll need to move away from there first. We are going to move some troops into here. Actually, we can now redeploy you there. And these could also be redeployed. So since this one's highlands, so it's going to be really difficult to defend, we'll hold back the enemy in Linhe with hills, so it's going to be slightly better defense and worse attack for the enemy. And if we have 3 units in there, that'll probably be sufficient. We can send this one down south. Actually, that one's going to get a unit there already. But anyway, we'll get some more troops down south. The militias will start moving closer up here, maybe help surround some enemies and all that. And this one is actually... Well, we can't do anything with that. Well, anyway, that's Shanxi already done. Did we get a unit in there? No. What I am going to do, though, is I'm going to try to move to Jiaju to cover at least some of this pass over here while we get some more troops to hold that out. Well, they got an HQ in there, which does mean that they need to then redeploy around it now. They won't be getting too many reinforcements there. I'm going to give a support attack on Laiyuan to provide some help on dislodging the enemy there. Oh, and there we go. We get some of the upgrades now for the mix support. So we'll get the anti-air. Cover repression will appease them to reduce revolt risk and gain more money. But consumer goods during peacetime will be increased. But we won't have a peacetime quite yet. So we'll worry about that later. As the saying goes, that's future me's problem. Oh, Yucheng is under attack. Now, to be fair, the enemy's got minus 100% penalty through the river crossing. So I don't think they'll be doing much damage. Yeah, no, they lost 47 men. And didn't inflict any casualties. Actually, what I'm going to do, I'm going to send one of these units in here. And move this one through. There we go. Got some victories already. We're trying to push in there, but we're also trying to get to Puyang and Liusheng and all that. So we'll try to, well, it's going to be a little bit extra units in here, but of course if we can destroy these units in here. Oh, there's the cavalry, or recon cavalry from mixed support. Very good. And there's the first of wagon regiments. I'm going to give one wagon regiment for the 30th, where the U unit is, or U regiment is already. So, or me in this case, I suppose. And we're going to give one for the, that's the 9th. That one. There we go. So that will be moving a little bit faster. We want to have a bit more troops into these, or a bit stronger units in here, initially. Because soon enough, the enemy should be getting the German-trained units for their repertoire of things. And that will take some time. I'm actually going to go ahead and... Yeah, we can move into the mountains there already with the militia. Clear out some of the pockets. Right, I think I'm going to go move in here. So we're going to leave this one to the flank for the time being, but we'll get some troops to sort of guard it for a while. And the idea is that we'll cut off the enemy somewhere to the coastline before they can get all troops defending Beijing and all that. Because if we can't take it quickly, then we won't take it at all. Well, it will be something that will take, but it will take a whole lot of time to capture it. There we go, victory at Handan. Can this one push further in? Not yet. Ooh, there we go, anti-tank upgrade. Oh, we've got one up there already. Did we have another one? Okay, that one's heading south. Do we have one more that we could maybe send south? These militias are probably not going to be all that great for that sort of tasks. Ah, this one's heading south. Right, I want you to get all the way there. It's a bit risky approach, perhaps, but we'll be fine. I suppose I could attack that one, or I could try to get to the city there. If I can hold on to that, that would be a crossing point for us. Let's give it a try. Oh, there we go. There's retreating. If we can get someone defend the plains there, and that'll be handy. And then, of course, we'll take these, so that will give us a bit more factories. And that's kind of the way to win China, is, well, especially with even harder difficulties, is to take all the factories that you can and starve them off production that way. There's not too bad enemy troops-wise in here yet. Got quite a bit of work to do, mind you. But we're slowly winning the battle in the mountains. Got another unit defending the flank there. Is this one ready to move in? Not yet, but soon enough. We'll probably move through that. Is that one? That one's redeploying all the way to the south. I'm going to redeploy one of these militias down here to maybe help surround some of these enemy units. Because that's 2 proper infantry divisions. If we can, well, technically speaking, light infantry, but still proper infantry divisions. If we can destroy those, it will be making the enemy position a lot less tenable. I guess this one could. I'm going to move it down here. Help hold back some of the enemy positions. Oh, there we go. We did get to the city. So that is only one factory. But it is a factory. And hopefully we'll get the reinforcements down here quickly to hold on to that. But now we'll just dig into the city. Oh, there we go. We're moving south. Very good. Oh, there we go. We got across the river there. There's 2 conscript units over here. So I guess we'll just go... Oh, right. We can't attack quite yet. We're still defending. There we go. Now we can attack. We'll keep on pushing through there. Do we have any more troops that... Well, we got one over here that is heading to this province. We're not quite ready to attack anything. But we should be overrunning this, hopefully. And then start attacking there. So actually, this one should probably give a support attack to dislodge the enemy there as quickly as possible. Which is, well, very shortly. Well, we get... So we did overrun at least one enemy unit. That's good. Got 1 militia over here already. This one is about to be a victory. How are we looking on reinforcements? We're going to reduce that a little bit. Not much, mind you, but a little bit. And the productions are now working pretty much full speed. There's still a little bit more that we will... Actually, we need to get some troops for the new militias and the units that we just got. So let's just go ahead and do another 5-unit run of... we'll start with the recon cavalry. That's always quite handy for basic infantry. Later on, especially if you want to have any sort of naval landing units or something like that, then you need to have motorcycle recon for those, if you want to have recon in there in the first place. Then we'll put in the artillery. We'll probably get the anti-tank guns. Horse transport. Let's see, that's 4. We'll need to get the division HQ, although I suppose we can get only... Or we can start with just 4, because we've got 1 extra with the U division. Or regiment, so there we go. So that's enough for... Well, kind of enough. We could probably get the engineers there as well. And then eventually split them off to new units. So there we go. We should be getting through this one shortly. We'll keep on pushing as much as possible. Hopefully we can dislodge the enemy over here. Now we at least got both the units in the combat. Oh, there we go. We've got Victory at Lyon. And I'm hoping that we can surround this one and destroy it. Actually, we've got a militia over here, so I'm just going to go ahead and send this one around to Shanxi. Looks like the conscripts up here are not doing all that well defending against us. We're going to move this one down south, and we're going to also go ahead and send the conscripts to assist in some areas. Actually, what I could do... I'll send the conscript down here. I'll take one of these and send it down south. Because the communist militia will probably be slightly better in combat. It's not a huge difference between the 2 of them, but I think that will be slightly more useful in there. So we'll be taking this one. How long until we can advance? 10 more hours. Okay, let's go and put in a bit more reinforcements in the meanwhile. So we'll get at least 1 tick of that. There we go, so we've got 100 men. And I think we can go ahead and attack into Barding as soon as possible. We'll wait for a few hours to do so. And there we go. Should be able to dislodge the enemy quite easily there. And it looks like Jinjing is going to be a somewhat easy battle there. As soon as we got the militia up here taking the mountains, we'll redeploy to Lyon. So that will be sort of guarding the enemy unit in the mountains here. We'll surround it and then we'll destroy it. They got the other unit in here, but that was very little organization they had a chance to get. So it won't be much of a challenge there. We are trying to push this one back, but things are getting delayed a little bit in here. I suppose the mountain is going to go around here. If we can get the mountains in these two provinces, then we can destroy the enemy unit in there. There's no enemy units too much in here yet, so let's go ahead and get across the river. Potentially we can take a bit more ground in here. Get into some defensive terrains in here as well. I mean, you know, might as well utilize the chaos that is ongoing. How long until this is arriving? 3 more days. And this battle is a little bit rough on us, but I think we can manage it. Where's the Communist militia? I'm going to redeploy you down here. Defend the river line there, and this one's going to go southeast to Tongxian. Then hopefully all the way to Jinghai. To cut off Beijing and Tianjin. Although actually there's not that much defenders in here, so what I could do is try to get to Beijing. That will remove some of the enemy industry once again. Let's just say that that is a very important goal. Actually, as soon as we've taken that one, we could redeploy the militia there, and then the mountaineer could try to push all the way to Hejiang. Got 2 more days until the infantry division can attack again. And the combat over here will be over shortly. It's the idea that if we can encircle all of this and then destroy them, that'd be quite handy. The mountains over there will be shortly taken. Oh, they got a defender in Hengshui. They haven't dug in yet. And I think we'll give the orders to attack across the river already. It's a matter of a few hours and we'll start the attack. Here we go, Victory Puyang. So I think what we'll do is we'll go ahead and advance this infantry to the northeast now. To Nandong. Just to keep the pressure going. Oh, there we go, Victory Bading. Oh, one of them is actually retreating to the mountains there. Okay, we're going to redeploy this one into the mountains in Laiyuan, so we can keep someone defending this. The attack on the city of Beijing has started, but it's a river crossing into urban province, so it's a bit rough terrain. I think we are still going to win that, but it'll be a bit difficult. There we go, Victory in Nandong. So one way or the other, we are going to win this. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move in the militia up here. And have that move to Nangong once we've taken that, so we can try to get to Guangzhou, for example. Or then cut the enemy over there. One way or the other. They got that military police that is trying to move, or cut us off, technically speaking, but what we can do is we can go ahead and destroy it soon. As soon as this one's ready. Actually, we didn't reinforce it enough. Oh well, I mean, at least we got some reinforcements going, but let's just go ahead and destroy this one. It's fairly low on organization, so it should give up fairly shortly, and then that's going to be destroyed. We can then empty that later. Right, so we've got all these. Oh, and there we go, there's the division HQ. We'll put this one into the unit here, so it's the, what was it, the 9th? Yes. There we go, so that's now at least got the division HQ as well, so it gets the combined arms bonus, which isn't much right now, but it is better than nothing. How's the battle in Beijing? I mean, the enemy is losing organization fairly quickly, and the military police over there is soon to surrender. One way or the other, we are gonna push back the enemy in here as well. They have gotten another infantry unit in here, which, oh, right, it's low on organization. And they're trying to send in everything that they can to try to push us away. Oh, they got another unit in there. Okay, well, in that case, we're going to stop the attack into Beijing. Also, let's go ahead and increase in reinforcements a little bit. I'm going to let them maybe try to attack me instead. I mean, there are ways for us to destroy this enemy units in there, but it's going to be tricky. But we may need to let them sort of push out and then destroy them, but that will tie up a lot of troops that we don't really have to spare quite yet. Oh, there we go, that's been sorted. I think what I'm going to do actually with this unit... Oh, it's going to take a while before it can move. Never mind. I was planning on attacking into Hejiang. Oh, the time to attack across the river. Oh, they got a unit in there. Okay, let's stop that attack. That's not going to be worthwhile anymore. Start just digging in for the time being. Okay, so we've got troops there. I was going to try to redeploy a unit in there, but right now that's not going to happen. So now they're attacking from Beijing. Oh. Well, well, well. So we take a decent bit of land right now. I mean, it's not the best. But how much did we get industry? I suppose we start with 10 base. Well, technically speaking, 20 base, I say, didn't we? But we got another 9, I believe. And 8, but we may have gotten... Oh, right, we got one from here, didn't we? Yeah, there we go. So we got on 9 total base, I see, extra from the start of the game. So it's better than nothing, but there's room for improvement for sure. It will be improving, trust me. Right, so we should be able to defeat the enemy attacking from Beijing quite easily. That's the battle in here. I suppose they are sending in another... Ooh. Another light infantry from Heijian. Or Heijian, sorry. I've been butchering that the whole time, haven't I? Anyway, it happens. We got... Actually, how's the leadership looking like? We've got quite a bit extra in officers, but we are going to need a lot right now, so I'm going to keep it as is. We're going to reduce the diplomacy a bit. We'll also reduce the espionage a little bit, because we're not going to do that much espionaging in this, at least not yet. The research is going to be more important. Sure enough, with espionage, we could maybe get some good blueprints if we were spying on the correct nations, but right now we're not really going to be doing much in that front. But I do believe we are actually out of time, so after the autosave is done, there we go. Let's go ahead and call it here. So if you enjoyed this, leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also check out the links down below in the description. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.